this episode was really chaotic and it was just really exhausting. A lot of important things happened, but it was just really draining for me to watch. I mean, a lot of this stuff that I wrote, like a lot of my notes are really, they were answered, you know? So Steven has to babysit Vicky from now on. Why is Damon helping with the babysitting duty? You know, this is his mess and he seems to delight in making messes, so why try to clean it up? That I didn't really understand. Elena never knocks before going into the bathroom. Stefan tells Vicky it's wrong to prey on humans, so he does have a moral objection to killing people, which is good to know. And again, I love how smart Elena is. She says to Damon, if you wanted me dead, I'd be dead. You know, she's still afraid of him, which is natural and she should be, but she's also smart enough to see what's going on, that he's not going to kill her. And I suspect that he wouldn't probably kill her. You know, he says not yet, but I have a feeling that he wouldn't kill her. It was interesting that coffee keeps them warm, because that was a question I had. I don't remember if I actually brought it up, but it was something that I was thinking about, if they were cold to the touch. It was interesting that Vicky said she needed to pee, and then she comes back and she's like, oh, I guess I don't. But Stefan doesn't say, like, no, actually, you don't have to pee. So do vampires pee? If they're drinking a lot of coffee, if they use coffee to keep their body temperature up, then I would assume, and couldn't you just do that with exercise? That's going to circulate your blood more than caffeine. But whatever. But if they're drinking a lot of coffee, you'd think that they would have to pee. And they seem to be the same people after being vamped, just with, you know, these new cravings and sensations and bloodlust that they have to control. And it would be really hard to stay chill when you have that kind of power. You know, it would be very difficult to control yourself knowing that you could kill anybody. You could, you know, you could do whatever you want. You could play with people like the way Damon plays with people. You can just use them and abuse them and just treat them like toys and objects and throw them away when you're done playing with them. And for, you know, some people, that would be very appealing. But even for, I think, a normal, like, good person, it would be difficult to control yourself all of the time. Stefan's super hearing is awfully selective. You know, he doesn't hear Vicky threatening Elena. He doesn't hear, like, serious scuffles. And he's always just a little bit too late. You know, I was really surprised that Elena got bit towards the end, because I really thought that he would be quick enough to, you know, to protect her. He's kind of shit at protecting people. I do love that Vicky shows up to the party as a vampire. That's exactly what I would do. So I don't understand why they can't just, like, gorge her on animal blood. Like, why can't they feed her a ton of animal blood? Because we only see her, she keeps saying that she's so hungry, and I understand that she's craving human blood, and maybe animal blood wouldn't quench her thirst. But they don't say that. They're just like, oh yeah, you just have to deal with it. And she's like, but I'm so hungry. And he's like, here's this cup of blood that's been sitting out. And she takes a few sips of it. And then she's like, I want more. And the conversation just switches to why she can't have human blood. But, like, why not fill her up on as much animal blood that she can possibly drink? Like, wouldn't that help? And that Halloween party was the best damn Halloween party any school ever had. And there's no adults, apparently. It was pretty amazing. I wish that my school had a badass Halloween party. Or any Halloween party, for that matter. So I wrote, yeah, Stefan is shit at protecting people. Is Vicky dead now? Because that girl has more lives than a cat. So when he staked her, I was like, okay, she's dead, right? But then I kept kind of expecting, like, Damon to show up and be like, oh, well, she's not really dead. You know, if we give her this herb, she can regenerate, or like whatever. And I was interested to see like what happened when somebody got staked, and we didn't see what they did with the body, so that was interesting. I'd like to know more about what they did, and I still don't really believe that Vicky's dead until we do see her body in flames or in dust or something like that. It's awfully convenient that Bonnie ends up with the witchy necklace, but, you know, maybe the necklace just found its way to her. I feel bad for Matt and Jeremy. Like, they're both good guys. It took me a while to warm up to Jeremy. This was the first episode that I learned his name. Well, and Matt, too, to be honest. I didn't know their names. But I liked Matt from the beginning. Took some time to warm up to Jeremy. He is a little bit annoying, but I feel really, really bad for him. I thought, though, that it was interesting that his complaint, like, okay, after everything happens with Vicky, he's at home with Stefan. Like, Stefan is there, but we don't know if they spoke. Elena shows up later, and she goes to Jeremy and she says, "Do you understand what happened?" And he says, "I know what I saw." I can't remember exactly what he says, but basically, "I know what I saw, but I can't believe she's dead." And I just thought that that is not the question that I would be asking if I were him. Obviously, you would be traumatized that somebody that you care about is dead, but what the fuck happened? And so I wanted to know how much explanation he got. Did Stefan explain to Jeremy exactly what happened? Did Jeremy know that she was a vampire? Because I just thought it was strange that I know he lost his parents and he really cared for Vicky. Maybe he loved her. I don't know. And it's very, very sad for him. And I understand that it would be very traumatic. But if in your world vampires don't exist and then this thing happens, I would be asking a lot more questions about that. And then to that end, it was erasing Jeremy's memory the right thing to do. I was surprised that he found out, because I thought that it would be kept secret for longer. You know, the whole vampire thing. I thought that would be kept secret for longer. But once Vicky was turned, I thought that maybe everybody would find out. And I'm sure that eventually everybody will find out. You know, the whole crew, like all of our main characters here, they will find out. They will all be part of the story, I'm sure. But I kind of thought, okay, well, this is when that's happening. But I was sort of surprised that it was happening so quickly. But now, obviously, poor Matt, he doesn't know anything, and he's just going to think that his sister's missing unless her body turns up somewhere, and then, you know, they have a funeral for her, which would at least be some closure for him, the poor guy. And then they've erased Jeremy's memory, so he doesn't know, presumably he doesn't know anything about vampires or anything, and he just thinks that she ran off or something. Stefan did do the right thing by staking Vicky. She was too volatile. And I'm sorry to say that I'm glad to see her go if she really is dead, because she had a very chaotic energy, and that's just very tiring for me. I mean, I liked her with Damon, and I really could have seen them kind of teamed up, and that would have been interesting, and I thought that's the direction that they were going because they seemed to bond. And I mean, he's a lot more fun, right? So I would have wanted to hang out with him too. So I kind of thought that was the situation that we were going to have. And so I think she could have been a lot of fun, but she made me very tired. So I'm glad. And Stefan did do the right thing because, yeah, she couldn't control herself. So, oh, and then just the other thing I wrote here is Damon is falling in love with Elena. We gonna have a love triangle up in here is what I wrote. It's so obvious. It's so obvious. But I think the more that she challenges him and the more that she is afraid of him, but she's also still going to speak her mind, and she hits him and realizes that, oh yeah, you can't really hurt a vampire. Like a human can't hurt a vampire, especially not by punching them. And she punches him again anyway, like just to make a point. Like she's just going to do it. And I think he likes it. And I think he's going to fall in love with her. And I'm guessing that Elena is going to be Damon's path to redemption, because you know that's what's going to happen. It's pretty obvious. I mean, maybe they'll keep him as a bad guy for a while, and I hope that they do keep him as a bad guy for like a few seasons before they try to redeem him. But you know it's coming. Anyway, I'm done. I hope this was interesting. I don't know. I don't know if any of this is going to be interesting, but it's what I'm doing. It's nice having this little project. So, all right. Bye.